Battle for Dream Island is a series I've been sticking around with for almost a decade, from the entertaining challenges and a variety of enjoyable characters. But one of my favorite aspects is definitely the eliminations. But just like all competition shows, there's always going to be at least one elimination that's not going to be fair. In fact, there's quite a lot of them, so I figured why not make a list about it. So for this list, I'll be ranking these eliminations for how unfair they would be in the context of the show, and also in a real life scenario. So with that being said, here are the top 10 most unfair BFDI eliminations. Starting off this list, we have Donut. Now Donut had a pretty rocky start when he made his first debut in BFDIA, having a bit of an attitude. So it's pretty justifiable why so many people disliked him. However, at the same time, we hardly got to know the poor bagel brain, mostly thanks to the incredibly one-sided tug-of-war contest, and also he was put up for elimination against two veteran contestants, Coiny and Pin, so it's not doing him any favors at all. So this ultimately leads Donut to be doomed from the start. Oh well, at least he got a lot of character development in BFB, so I see this as an absolute win. Next up we have Lai. It definitely goes without saying that Lai has the most wasted potential out of all the newcomers in BFB. The viewers most likely voted her out because they seem to have an issue with some of the things she did, like when she climbed up Belle in episode 4, and that time when she tried to get Teardrop to speak. Keep in mind that the latter of which was when Lai said she was in the wrong for doing, which people apparently forgot about. And for the other contestants who were climbing up Belle, how come they get a pass? Another reason why people probably voted for her was because she couldn't really compete in BFB 4's contests, but it's not really her fault. There were many forks surrounding her because of the side effects of Lollipop's fork repellent. For those reasons, Lai never really got the chance to get proper development, all because the viewers assumed that she was another mean contestant. Poor Tennis Ball had it rough in BFDI, especially when points came around, which is mostly because he's been stuck in the danger zone in almost every episode. In BFDI 18, both Leafy and Tennis Ball received 2 votes each, so they had to do a tiebreaker challenge, the rule that the announcer gives out, and I quote, "Whoever jumps the ledge first is safe, and the other is eliminated." Tennis Ball makes a jump and falls to the TLC and gets eliminated for some reason. Keep in mind, announcer didn't specifically say that they had to jump across the other side of the ledge, unless it was a transcript typo. And to add insult to injury, Leafy didn't even jump. She got hit by a hammer that sent her flying to the other side, all thanks to Tennis Ball's clumsiness, and also because of the announcer's misguidance. Dora as a character is an enigma given how we never got to know much about her at the time. She literally only had one single sentence in season 2. Many viewers never really gave her a chance, most likely for being an oddball and a non-object. There always seems to be a theme in the BFDI series, where the joke characters and non-objects always end up in the bottom 3 whenever they're put up for elimination, and Dora is certainly no exception. And it's definitely no fair that she hardly had a moment of screen time before she got out. Thankfully, just like Donut, at least we get to see more screen time of her in BFB, but unlike the former of which, we still didn't really get the chance to know much about her, because the viewers had the need to vote her off again. In her appearance in BFB, we finally get to see what Dora can do and what her powers are like. Dora has proven that she is one of the most useful members on TCOP, securing wins for the team in a few episodes. And yet people still target the poor stick woman. One of the few reasons why people targeted her was because most of the characters on TCOP were involved with the whole abandoning arc, and most of the viewers wants to save those contestants. Dora is one of the few characters that wasn't really involved with the drama, and this kind of puts her in a tough spot, leaving Dora to say adios again. Balloony never really got the chance to get much development over the course of BFB's run, which is most likely because he screwed himself over when he decided to stay in the BFB split for 2 reasons. 1. He was stuck on a team with a bunch of fan favorites, and 2. The new voting system now requires the viewers to save one person. This puts our balloon buddy in a tough spot, since he really couldn't stand a chance against his teammates' popularity. If the vote to eliminate system was still around, he probably would have survived at least against Leafy and Lollipop. Otherwise, he should have stayed in Teapot. Pencil has been on a lucky streak throughout BFDI's run. She never received a single vote until the later half of the season, and she was never really in the danger zone, which might be one of the reasons why people targeted her. But that's not the main reason why her elimination was unfair. When Pencil wins the staring contest in episode 18, the announcer tells Pencil that she gets 60 points for winning the contest, but in classic BFDI fashion, the new points chart can only hold 2-digit numbers, leaving Pencil's points to go down by 5.
What? I told you earlier, the scoreboard can only hold 2-digit numbers.
Yeah!
As funny as the joke is itself, this is without a doubt an unfair elimination because Pencil basically won the contest all for nothing. Now many tears are shedding because Teardrop is up next. During the middle half of BFDI, there was a new voting system whenever a team loses. The two most voted contestants leave the team, and the team that came first last episode will choose one of the two people to join their team. In episode 10, Teardrop and Snowball both received the most votes and both of them leave the Squashy Grapes. The Squishy Cherries, the team who came first last episode, will have to choose who they want on their team. Eraser and Pen both want Snowball to join their team because of their friendship. Bubble and Match both have issues with him and choose Teardrop instead. Then it was all down to Pencil. You would think that she would join her alliance members into having TD join. But no, she chooses Snowball for winning the tiebreaker contests in episode 4 and 5. But why else did she pick him? Does she secretly like SB? Maybe that's probably a reason why she's smiling in this clip? It also makes things unfair when you remember in the last episode, Teardrop and the rest of her team couldn't do anything, because it's all thanks to Snowball's teeny tiny little brain for making his team lose. Ice Cube never really did that much over the course of BFDI's run, but even I can't deny the way she went out was totally unfair. So in BFDI 21, the eliminated contestants had to choose among these 4 contestants who they think should be eliminated. There might be some votes with questionable reasons like Golf Ball and Woody's. Nothing was really too crazy. Until Snowball decides to vote for Ice Cube because he thinks the TLC is really hot and she can help cool it down. The rest of the remaining voters decide to vote off Icy for the same reason. Plus, a bunch of recommended characters, leaving Icy to cool off in the TLC. If Snowball would have kept his big mouth shut, then Icy would have had a chance to make it to the final 3. Overall, being used as a tool to cool down a certain thing is definitely not a fair way to go out. Also, are we not going to mention that Braceley, out of all people, voted for her too? Jeez, poor Teardrop can't take a break from these eliminations. So many people wanted her to compete in season 2, but the viewers had the need to vote her off again. In BFDIA 4, Teardrop was liked by over 500 people, but for some reason, she also got the most dislikes. But why is that? Well, it is rumored that a certain YouTube user managed to convince her subs to dislike Teardrop's video in order to save Coiny, since he had the most votes at the time. Keep in mind that most of the user's viewers don't even know what BFDI is, and they still disliked her video regardless. And Teardrop got eliminated all because of a bunch of people listening to a certain user. At least for all the other eliminations, no one really rigged the system, I think, which is another good reason why Teardrop's elimination in BFDIA is the most unfair by far. Was there any eliminations I missed? Leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in more content in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.